Okay, I think this is going live now. There we go. I started recording here. Not sure exactly what's going on, but yeah, here we are. What's up, disc golfers? Joe here with Joe's Disc Golf, and jam-packed show today. I know, I say it all the time, and usually I'm lying, but today I'm probably not lying, because we're talking about Paige Pierce getting mad at you for repeating things that she has said, because, you know, I don't know. I don't know. More updates from the Natalie Ryan lawsuit that you probably heard. Honestly, go to discgolf.law, their YouTube channel. Chris does a fantastic job. So if you haven't heard all the updates by now, it is 6 days after the last update, then you've been under a rock, and I applaud you. You've been under the disc golf rock, not the Innova rock, but the disc golf rock. So before we jump into it any further, got to thank our sponsor, and that is Log. What rolls downstairs, a loner in pairs rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and it fits on your back? It's Log, Log, Log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's better than bad, it's good. Come on and get your Log. Everyone wants it, Log. You gotta love it, Log. YouTube. YouTube. Okay, so last week you yelled at me for not streaming at a high enough bit rate, and you suggested 25,000 kilobytes. This week you're saying, no, don't listen to us. We were wrong what we told you last week. We actually want it at 9,500 because I don't know. So hang on. We're going to change that. There we go. Maybe YouTube will get happy now. I don't know. YouTube, you have been frustrating me like nobody's business tonight. Oh my gosh. First, you wouldn't. My stream key changed somehow, even though I never asked for it to change. So that changed. That happened. Had to figure that out. Didn't know that was the problem. Spent 10 minutes troubleshooting. Don't worry. Got that solved. Then for it to tell me, hey, you're streaming two sources to the same channel. But I wasn't. Again, thank you, YouTube. Love it. Okay. Now, you told me this bit rate last week was awesome. This week, not so much. YouTube, I don't even know at this moment. Great service that you somehow end up giving out for free. It's awesome. Thank you. For those of you expecting Paige Pierce to be on here, what do you think I am? The Upshot? Come on. I'm not that cool. I'm pretty cool, said no one ever. But hey, we're gonna be talking about that. I guess we shall just jump right into it here. Also doing a Q&A. Start Q&A. Say something. Okay. Oh boy. Sorry for all of the funness that you heard there. And start Q&A. Ask questions. Yay. I don't know. Yes, the first round, I only caught bits and pieces of the first round today. So I don't know exactly what happened. I know, shocking, people on Reddit were saying that the video quality was bad. I did happen to jump on and see at one point that somebody had made a comment. It's like, why does it say I'm streaming at 1080p, but it looks like 240? I don't know why I'm from up north there, eh? But don't you know? Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't the worst we've seen it, that's for sure. But it definitely wasn't great. I don't know what to say at this point anymore. I have made my concerns known. You guys have listened to me totally and moan about this, and not much has changed. Allegedly, there's some things in the work for next year. all I can say is respectfully let the Disc Golf Network, Disc Golf Pro Tour know you're unhappy, basically, is all I have to say. Just let them know. As I said, be respectful. Let them know, like, hey, you know, you gotta do something with your product here. We gotta make it better. We gotta make it better there. Yes, 4 hours, and I spent 90% playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, man. Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, boy. So we got a lot of people here. Adrian Diaz, Tatar Macbeth in Europe. Been under a rock, not Innova. Yes. They are both, well, Tatar has gone back. She came here. She skipped Vegas, came here for a couple, went back, came back, went back. Going to stay there, I assume, through European Open and all that stuff. I don't remember her schedule off the top of my head here. Thank you, Lefty Lines Disc Golf. I appreciate it. It's been a work in progress. Some of you may or may not notice a difference in image quality. Now, here's a fun fact that I did not realize with my camera. I love my camera. Panasonic Lumix, good stuff. Good entry level into the beginner levels of video streaming if you don't want to spend, everybody says get the Sony Alpha A, whatever the new one is. Yeah, that's like $2,000. You know what I got to say to that? That. That's what I got to say to that. Panasonic Lumix, whole setup, way, way cheaper than that. You can use their streaming software and output their USB, and it will give you a high definition image of 720p. Bear in mind, the camera is capable of 4K. USB 2 theoretically can handle 4K. I'm not doing 4K. So long story short, HDMI out. And for those of you gamers out there, I have one of the original Elgato, actual Elgato before Corsair picked them up, the HD60S. That thing finally died. It is gone. I tried to use it and it is gone. So I got the camera, Camlink, something like that. And yeah, it is doing so much better. So you are currently seeing me, I think it's upscaled. No, it is coming out at 1440p, maybe, hopefully. Let's see. What does it say? 1440p at 60 FPS, because you need me in crystal clear 1440p. It is awesome. Oh boy. Ask questions. That's what I said. Oh well. Looks amazing. ESPN level. I was concerned it was more Tournament Central level. Ooh. Yeah, I made that joke. Oh man, if anybody watched the first episode of Tournament Central. Well, none of those people are actually hosting Tournament Central anymore. I don't know why they didn't get Brian Earhart to do it right off the bat, because let's be honest, Brian Earhart is flippin' amazing. You know, say what you will about his on-course commentary and everything. I personally like it. And I think him doing some of the Tournament Central stuff is a fantastic idea. And if you missed it yesterday, when I believe the DGN crew was setting up, but they gave you a glimpse into the final round of the MPO yesterday already. And it was a random grip just dancing around on stream, making sure everything worked. I took a couple screenshots. They're on my Twitter, at Joe's Disc Golf. What's up? At Joe's Disc Golf. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, hardly ever on that. What else? Reddit, on that, but, you know, it's not quite there. Yeah, Nate Doss's commentary, not a huge fan of that. I will say that this is a must-make putt on this podcast, or else it could be just over at this point, even though it's round 1, hole 2. This is a must-make putt right here. Otherwise, I'm done. I'm out. Game over, man. Game over, man. And yeah, I don't have a key binding for that. Game over, man. It is just, I missed the putt. It was a 15-footer, and it just, I couldn't do it. I tried as hard as I could. This is going on for far longer than I thought it would. I've got nothing else to say here. But the music swells, and I just am overcome with emotion. Hopefully that's not coming out too loud on your end. On my end, it is very loud. Nate and Val are two people with the most non-announcer voices ever. Yes. I would agree with that. Nate, not that great. Nate Sexton, I do like. And if he ever kind of takes a step back and retires more-ish, I'd love to hear him in the booth more. And I think when they had the 3 commentators, was that Champions Cup or was that before that? It was Nate, and who was the third? Was it Charlie? Or was it, who was it? I forget, but they were good. Those 3 were good because it was great. If Nate Doss could actually chime in and be useful, and I don't have a TikTok there, Lefty Lines, but those 3 did a good job there. I think because they balanced each other out, we were able to get color commentary without getting overloaded. It didn't feel like people had to just constantly talk and constantly talk like you're hosting a podcast all by yourself. What is that like? I'd rather have Doss than Yuli and Germ. They sounded like they don't give. Yeah, it's hard. Because of the turnaround on the schedule, I do sympathize with Yuli and Germ because they're going out, they're playing their round, waiting for Jomez to finish editing, which those editors do a fantastic job in the short amount of time that they do it in. They get it. Then that all has to process, that has to upload or has to be exported. They have to give their commentary for an hour and a half. Sometimes that's way late at night. Sometimes that is butt crack of dawn. And then they still have to go out and play their round and somehow get ready and sleep. And I can see how a couple years ago when I first stumbled across Jomez and started watching Jomez, they were some of my favorites. It was awesome listening to them talk. Now that they've been doing it a couple years, it's kind of grinding on them. And I think what they should do is at this point kind of pick one. With the way they're playing in terms of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, they're not doing great. They'd still easily hand me my ass on a silver platter on my home course here, and they could play it blind. No, I'm not trying to say that they're terrible. I'm just saying in terms of the Pro Tour, it's got to be playing in the back of their mind that they're like, you know what, this retirement thing, Yuli's doing all his stuff with his Leadership Institute thing, and it's just Big Germ's being Big Germ. Who knows? I think Brian and Charlie should do all MPO as a co-host with Terry. With Perkins as on-course commentary, Jake, I think that would be a good idea. I did mention I'm not on TikTok. Maybe I live in Montana. Who knows? I don't know. Politics. Hey, that's as close as we're getting today. Oh, wait, we're talking about some of Natalie Ryan's updates. Yes. Yes, the path to demonetization on a channel that isn't monetized. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, TikTok may not be the most appealing app, but the disc golf community there is great. I'm not on it. I barely keep up. I'm finally starting. I've had Twitter forever. I'm finally starting to use Twitter. I know. Old man here. Old man yelling at clouds. I wouldn't ever know, never will. Yeah. And no beast, old and outdated. Yeah. Agreed. Oh, but the OTB Open was very, very interesting here for a multitude of different reasons, including, we'll start with the, I think, non-controversial, although Paige Pierce has tried to make it controversial. She had an interview. I forget if it was the pre-tournament interview or if it was one of the in-between round tournaments where she said that I don't know where people are getting this idea where they're saying I'm washed up and I'm done and I don't even have the will to play anymore. That is just absolutely insane. That is stupid. How could you ever think that? You're just a terrible human being. When not 7 months ago at Worlds, Paige Pierce said, I don't know, I didn't play that great. I don't know if I have the will to win. It's kind of crazy, but I don't feel like even fighting for the lead. Do you wonder where we're getting this from? Straight from your mouth. That's where we got it from. So it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when all of a sudden I hear her saying, why are you saying this? How could you come up with that? You're a terrible person. You said it. You said it. I'm sorry that some of us in the disc golf world have memories longer than a goldfish. We have the attention span better than a kindergartner. I'd say I'm close to a second grader in attention span because squirrel. What were you talking about? I kid. But it's just crazy that that kind of stuff has happened there. And it's just kind of frustrating when things like that happen. And why is this not showing me? YouTube navigation here can be pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. And why, side question, why does it always default to top chat instead of live chat when I'm live? I don't know. But here we are, talking about disc golf, having a grand old time here. I think the updates to Milo playing their Safari layout, pretty entertaining, to be completely honest. Pages like Jordan, he made up things to say to his ex-wife or sons by opposing players and would start the confrontation. You know what? If that's what it takes for her to get off her butt and compete at the highest levels that she needs to compete, whatever, take it, I guess. Do it. Do it now or else. So that was Paige Pierce. On to the more exciting part of this, I guess, or the more interesting part. So Natalie Ryan played the first round of the OTB Open, as I'd mentioned. The PDGA and DGPT filed for an emergency appeal, which they won, sort of, kind of. And so Natalie Ryan booted out of the OTB Open rounds 2 and 3. Now, there is some speculation as to why that happened, besides being basically what the restraining order said, or what the appeal said was, hey, the restraining order's gone. But that was for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. For the PDGA, it was not gone, apparently. So basically the Disc Golf Pro Tour didn't have to, but did anyways, kick Natalie Ryan out. Right call, in my opinion. Anyway, some of the speculation is that they had to do that. Otherwise, it would make things even worse way down the line when we're going through the rest of this lawsuit. Now, keep in mind, everything that happened last week for the OTB Open was basically the prelims. Nothing happened, essentially. Nothing happened there. Basically, when they did all that, temporary restraining order and all that stuff, that has nothing to do with the actual case, which will be weeks, months, years down the line. The PDGA and Disc Golf Pro Tour have until about a month from now, 3 weeks, give or take. I don't know exactly, until they have to file a response to the original lawsuit that Natalie Ryan's attorney put in, which, if you want to get an insight into his thinking, he did an interview with the Upshot. I think it was pretty good. Pretty interesting. I'll say that. I thought the interview was pretty good. I would have liked Charlie to press the issue more, but who knows? Now, when I read that, I thought that Natalie's attorney filed in the wrong court. Most disc golf move ever. I don't think so. I think that because they're trying to do this California law, and because the 1,000 rated productions, the people who run the tournament for the OTB Open, I think they thought that was the right one. And honestly, I can't, speaking as an outsider, I can't blame them as to why they wouldn't have filed in California, because if there is any state that would be the most sympathetic and potentially win, it would be California. Now it sounds like after all of this stuff, this went up to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. What they said was, hey, California didn't have jurisdiction because at least one of the partial owners of the Disc Golf Pro Tour lives in Virginia, which is also where Natalie Ryan lives. So, hey, this should probably go over to Virginia. Maybe that's the right call. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not an attorney, but that's what the lawyer or the attorney or the judges or judge, I don't know how many, said up there. The Twitter post, no, it was an Instagram post. That was brutal. I actually want to quote that because from a certain point, I could understand Natalie Ryan being absolutely pissed off about getting to play the first round and then not getting to play after that. I can understand that. I think we can all understand that portion there. You think you won and then you got the rug pulled out from under you. I can understand that. Not saying, again, not agreeing with Natalie Ryan. However, I can understand why Natalie was pissed off and wrote, "The DGPT is removing me from the OTB Open. No matter where they go, I will fight them every step of the way. If you thought I was fighting hard before, just wait. They're going to burn with me." Now, that does not have a good look. I did write a piece about this where, yes, you have your freedom of speech. You can say whatever the hell you want to say. If you're in certain, if you're in certain things, there's certain things you probably shouldn't say. I work in a high school. There are plenty of things that I shouldn't say and I don't say. Can I say them? Yeah. Can they get me fired? I mean, yeah. You don't go around dropping F-bombs in front of kindergartners. Technically, you can do it. Poor life choice. But, hey, whatever. Yeah, that didn't go over so well in the disc golf community because it was seen as a threat. Burn with me. Now, people have said, well, that's just a turn of phrase, a metaphor, and it's something that, people have said when you are fighting against an oppressor and, everything, I'm going to burn it to the ground. Well, I complain about the PDGA. I do. And I'm not super thrilled with them. But I don't think we should burn it to the ground. I think the PDGA does offer some good things. On top of that, as much as I think the Disc Golf Network can approve, I'm lumping Disc Golf Network, Disc Golf Pro Tour, all of that into one entity because it basically is. Legally, it's probably not because, whatever, lawyers. I don't want the Disc Golf Pro Tour to go away. Whether I'm watching it post-produced, whether I'm watching it live, I like watching top-level pros absolutely compete and destroy courses that I could never play in that fashion, ever. It was awful. It was terrible. And when you're in a legal battle like this, you just gave easy ammunition to the PDGA and Disc Golf Pro Tour saying, hey, look, Natalie Ryan said, I'm going to burn it down. You're going to burn with me. Poor life choice there. Jake says, I think Natalie is going to see a worst case result with the Disc Golf Pro Tour. The DGPT have poorly written rules, but they exist. The PDGA allow her to play, and she is now in Throw Pink. That is because Throw Pink is an A tier. I thought you had to qualify. I don't know how. I don't remember. I don't know all the qualification processes for that. I know there is some. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I do think that the Disc Golf Pro Tour should come up with their own rules. Basically adopt 85 85, 90% of the PDGA rules, the ones that make sense. Cut the crap that doesn't make sense. B tiers, C tiers, all that stuff, amateurs, cut it all out. You don't need it. Make up your own stuff. But I guess from a liability standpoint, it kind of makes sense. They're like, hey, look, this is our governing body right here, the PDGA. Go sue them. Go sue them, please, not us. Natalie Ryan followed up that awesome post with the following statement, which I think is interesting here. The DGPT and PDGA are afraid of metaphors, so I've taken down my previous post. AKA, my lawyer said, what the are you doing? Because this is some bull. Because I need to try to win this case, and you are just throwing it away. You're pissing it away. Stop. No. No Instagram for you. No social media. Instead, I'm going to make that post message incredibly clear. My removal from the OTB Open was targeted, just as the new policy was. Sort of. So, yes, the removal from the OTB Open was targeted because you sued to get into that. That is why they said, hey, we're enforcing this rule again. And guess what? You were the only one who sued to get in. So yes, sort of in a roundabout way, it only affected you because you were the only one there. Okay. All right. As somebody else pointed out on Reddit, it's for r/I am the main character, some subreddit like that. I don't remember. The DGPT is now enforcing rules that it has no place to. Yeah, it does. They have only done this to hurt me. No, it's not just about you, sweet cheeks. I will continue to litigate until justice is achieved. I will use this pain to make sure nobody else has to experience it. The level of narcissism is truly staggering, to say the least. It is quite impressive. It is so impressive to see someone like that. And I get it, social media, everybody's a little bit narcissistic, but imagine if every social media post instigating arson and violence was, I don't know what that last word is, cata, cata, was just everywhere, I'm assuming. It wouldn't, well, I mean, that would be certain aspects of Reddit. There are certain Reddit pages that are interesting. Fun fact, not fun fact. I thought the Foundation Podcast Network, specifically Griplocked, had a subreddit. Categorized as metaphor, yes. They do not. I do not recommend searching Griplocked on Reddit. It is definitely not safe for work. And yep. No. Just no. Yeah. No. The Lonely Island. Good stuff there. Yeah, it would be crazy if all of that was there. Paige did a great job on Tour Life with Brody and mentioned that Natalie doesn't have... I'm gonna stop reading before that gets me in trouble. But yes. Go back, everybody, and just look at Jake's comment there. Yep. I haven't had a chance to watch that episode of Tour Life. I saw that it was like 3.5 hours, and it had Nate and Paige and I think somebody else, and it just seems like it's a good idea to watch that in its entirety. It'll be interesting to see how that goes down. I know Paige Pierce has been kind of a vocal supporter in a roundabout way, but I think it was pretty interesting that in the OTB Open and since then hasn't been too supportive outside of, I haven't seen Tour Life, so maybe I'm a little off base here, but I think as Natalie Ryan keeps opening her big yap and saying stupid stuff it gets harder and harder for those who are sympathetic to the cause to help support Natalie Ryan. I will say, keep talking, keep going on, make YouTube videos, make Instagram posts, make Instagram videos, hop on Twitter, and just speak your mind, please, because, good God, it is terrible. But I get lots of comments, and I get lots of content. Sometimes words are hard, and it is very, very interesting, to say the least. Oh, man. I think, that'll be my next project this weekend, is to watch Tour Life. I'm trying to get there. There are so many things that I have to do. I did get a chance to play a round of disc golf last week on a course that is supposed to be championship level. It is not yet. Going back to this, Jake said Paige is against Natalie and said that she made no friends with her posts and has an advantage. Then said the trans players need to start their own tour ASAP to even the field. The hard part with that, and I will say the hard part is we've had two that we know of on tour, and that was Chloe Alice and Natalie Ryan. Now, a tour of two is difficult. Disc golf, as much as we love it, is a niche sport, and transgender individuals make up a very tiny percentage. So the fact that there were two playing disc golf, I think, is like way higher than what the statistics say it should be. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. I don't know. On to a lighter topic where I lost a Frisbee. Yay. Championship level course. Played on a very windy day. Windy day. I'm out there. I'm lining up my tee shot. Grass tees for half of them. Elevated turf pads for the other half. Line up this 280 foot slightly downhill shot over a pond. Pull out my trusty EMAC Truth. I know I can get there with the downhill. Throw it out there. It's riding pretty. All of a sudden, gust of wind turns it over, beats it straight down in the pond, about 10 feet short. Unfortunately, that pond gets deep quick, and you're not allowed to go swimming in it at the seminary. Yes, this is on seminary property. With any luck, hey, Three Rivers Open. They will be playing that there. 2 rounds? I don't remember. I think it's Seminary, Tillman, Seminary. Going to be a good time. Sexton lost his first 2015 Sexton Firebird at OTB, a $9,000 disc. Whoa! Mine was worth, in the condition it was in, it was a lucid EMAC Truth. I would say it would probably new. It goes for $18 plus tax. I know because I just bought a replacement. So used, that was probably $9. 1%. I am the 1% of the Nate Sexton Firebird. I do have a sexy bird up right there. That is the 2022 Sexton Firebird. Doomsday disc next to it. Loft Hydrogen up top. Right there. I've got the I Freed Scott Stokely. What's his name? Monopoly Man. Hole 16 OTB. A pricey Frisbee is there. Time to go swimming. Time to go swimming there, boys. Dive right in. Strip to your skibbies and jump on in. I'm sure the water's fine. Okay. But yeah, losing that, I have a Gator Grip. Best disc retrieval you can get there. Golden Retriever by Dynamic Discs is really good too. If you're out further than 10 feet, I think is roughly the range for the Gator by the poles. Dive in the crap water. Yeah. You mean dive in the water in California? Well, they actually have water now after all the rain they got. But the Gator head on it is fantastic. You just prop it open. There's a little metal clip there. You shoot it at the disc and it clamps down on it. You pull it back and it's awesome. I tried to use the dynamic discs one with like the 2 hooks on it. That thing's terrible. It is so terrible. Do not waste your money on it. Do not waste your money on it. I would recommend spending the $30 to get that Gator Grip. I've used it 3 or 4 times now, so it saved me $80, give or take, if you assume that all the discs are worth roughly $20 brand new. On top of buying a new EMAC Truth, I also bought the Trust because I really like the Trust. I've got an Orbit Trust. I've got a first run Trust that is going to be very difficult to find, and a new EMAC Truth. Threw them all side by side, and they are the same disc. I would be surprised if Dynamic Discs ran a Supreme EMAC Truth because, yeah, they're basically the same thing. So if you're in the market for a straight flying with a nice stable finish, mid-range, EMAC Truth, good stuff out there. Or even better, in the Supreme plastic / the Grand plastic, go out there and get that. The Grand plastic is so amazing. It is so nice. It feels so good. On top of that, I'm now throwing the Prodigy MX1 because another very, very good disc. Shocking. The flashing didn't tear up my hands. Jake says, apparently Nate already threw one in the water, and the diver didn't see his second one, which was the Firebird, so he saved the water. Oh, jeez. Oof. That's tough. That is really tough. I can't imagine. And to a certain extent, that probably has to have a bit of a sentimental value to him. But, poor guy. How will he ever survive with his doctor wife and no Sexton Firebird? I decided to cut down on molds to a Buzz X, plastic stable Buzz, and Buzz OS. All right, nice. My mids are... I have an understable Bounty that's kind of like a utility disc. It's understable. If I need to throw like a slow roller, or because it's understable enough, I could throw it slower. I like throwing it more than I like throwing my putters, to be completely honest. Then I have the Trust or Truth, EMAC Truth. I don't know which is going to stay in the bag at this point. And then I've got my 4 Justices. Basically, I only throw the Truth, EMAC Truth, on a backhand, and I only throw the Justice on a forehand, so it's about the same right there, in my opinion. And from there, I do have various stabilities of other discs. Like the Justice, I have 3 of those in different ones, and the feel of the MX1, it is so close to the Justice, I wouldn't know the difference, to be completely honest, and I'm an avid Justice thrower. But it flies like a beaten Justice. It is so good. It is so good. I get such good distance on it. Going out to the field, throwing it. The winds were favorable today, and I set a new PR backhand of like 450 feet because I threw a big old Annie. To escape with the wind, the way the wind was blowing, and that thing just was gone. Ezra influenced me from DD a little. I added a nuke, and the Raider is losing its spot soon. Gotcha. Okay. I haven't tried the nuke yet. I do like my Raider, but I haven't thrown it all that much, to be completely honest. I've fallen in love with the Grace. If I can try to throw a Grace, I will throw a Grace. It is such a good disc, in my opinion. The plastic feels great. It will hold the line for so long. That's a disc that I'm like, oh, this is a 400-foot hole. Let me just toss this on a forehand line with, technically, sometimes it's an Annie, like a little flex line, but it's like a baby flex line. It's mostly just straight. And it's so good. It is so good. On top of that, if you guys haven't already, look for the Trilogy Challenges around wherever you live. I played last week, 2 weeks ago, in the Prodigy Par 2. You get 3 discs, a bag, and a towel for like $30, $40, something like that. It's a good one. Then the Trilogy Challenge, you don't get a bag, but you get 3 discs. All of them in Supreme plastic this time. They're in their premium plastics. You get a Vandal, Pure, and a Warship, and they're going to be so good. It's good. Doomsday Demolitions are a great way to get some Doomsday discs as well. If you want to throw a lid, if you want a non-glidey polecat, then Doomsday, the Landmine, or the Death Charge. Those are the discs for you, for sure. Those are definitely the discs for you. But yes. Grace is my forehand only driver. Never throw it on a backhand though. I have not thrown it much on a backhand. The wind has to be kind of favorable for that to work for me for the most part, unless I need something more stable. I don't have as much power on my backhand. Like I said, I know I just said I threw it 450 feet. I also mentioned that the winds were very favorable, and that is very, very far. I'd love to see Ricky throw a Vandal on his default Anheuser release. How is that a tour series for him? That's a roller. You throw it on an Annie release, a Vandal, that is a roller disc. I have thrown it before on Heiser flip-ups. I've thrown it where there's a good tailwind. I've thrown it, it's not a bad disc, but it's not something that I'm like, yes, I need to rely on this. That's not something I'm going to do. That's for sure. That is a crazy disc, but I'll be interested to see how it goes. We've got 24 holes that we're playing here. Show Reds. That will be June 4th. 24 holes, 3 discs. See how it goes. Lowest score on the day, doesn't matter what division, gets a marksman basket. Fingers crossed. Go 2 for 2 in these Trilogy Challenges, the Part 2 event. Hey, you never know. You never, ever know. Especially because we're going out there early, so the wind should be down. But I think that just about covers everything. We'll see what happens in the time between now and, well, next Friday. Who knows? The rest of the Beaver State Fling is coming up. It took everything I had, and I resisted the Leslie Nielsen joke. And if you haven't seen it, you don't know what I'm talking about, just search Leslie Nielsen, Beaver. It's from The Naked Gun. It's Naked Gun. From the Files of Police Squad, The Naked Gun. It's a great, great comedy. Go out and watch it. I highly recommend it. But I believe that does it here today. Thank you all for watching. If you get a great tree kick, don't forget to thank Treesus. And if you get kicked deeper into the woods, well, you have transgressed against Treesus and you need to repent and reflect. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Joe. You've been awesome. And I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Am I the only one who dislikes OTB as a course on coverage? I thought it was all right. Nothing great, nothing bad. But that does it all. That was Jake's question. Am I the only one who dislikes it? So everybody have a great night, great day, great afternoon, whenever you're listening, watching, or whatever to this stream. See you later, everybody.